My friends, have you ever come to a plateau with playing guitar in which you couldn't increase your speed or certain techniques just seemed unattainable? You aren't alone. If you saw the Born instructional video with Jeff, I'm sure you heard me say I wanted to challenge myself to play the riff from Born by Nevermore at full speed, but I kinda suck at guitar. So this left me 3 options. Option 1, motivate myself to practice. Option 2, play at halftime and speed it up like the Instagram craze that almost shut down the internet. Or option 3, which is probably the smartest, ask the man who wrote the song how to improve my technique and speed with a warm-up routine. Surely 3 will yield the best results. So Jeff, how do warm up?
One thing that I think is really important when it comes to picking/speed picking is to really focus on using just your wrist. So you really want to plant your forearm on the body right here and just focus with using a closed hand kind of movement, kind of like gypsy jazz guitar players. Because when you have your fingers dangling like this, it's kind of a weird, almost like a weird weight that's kind of holding your hand down. If you have a closed hand, it seems to be a little bit more controlled, so to speak. So what I would first start doing is just doing a slow tremolo pick and accentuating on the 1 or the 8. So you'd have something like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Or you can say down to yourself like down, 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 down. And just keep on going with that, just using your wrist. So you have a sound like this. So that's very important. And then you can start adding extra notes. So one of my favorites from all time has always been the Paul Gilbert warm-up, where you're doing 3 notes per string, but then 1 other note on, say for instance, the high E string, where you're doing the crossover of the up pick. So you have something like this. Up, up, up. So you can focus on that. But yeah, mostly it's just really making sure that you're just using your wrist, because you can really get high levels of speed doing that.
Okay, that information was definitely substantial. And if you subconsciously saw my subliminal message, I was telling you to subscribe so we can see more guitar gods on the channel. Transition game lazy. Really? I thought that one was pretty good. It was like a B- at best. Can't please everybody. But okay, Jeff, I have one more question. This will definitely help improve my speed and technique for the goal of playing this riff, but how do you warm up in a typical scenario before you go out to play a show? Or do you warm up? Jeff Loomis doesn't need to warm up because his riffs are always fire. We gotta bring back Chuck Norris jokes, but do it with Jeff Loomis instead, you know? Chuck Norris, Jeff Loomis, kinda works, right? Anyways, Jeff, how do you warm up before a show?
So, I mean, realistically, just playing for like a half an hour to get the blood flowing is something that's very, very, very important. So I'll just start doing scales and connecting them going up and down the neck. So. So another thing I like to do is mute the strings, because you can really get the accuracy of each individual note when you're doing that and hear that it's clear, rather than playing it open just like. Another thing too is that I try not to just do alternate picking all the time. Even though it's a highlight of my playing, I also utilize economy picking. So you could take that same thing and utilize that. So economy picking basically would be just down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, and so on. And vice versa coming back. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And you can get some great speed doing that as well. So. Another thing I like to do is utilize legato in my playing. So I will just pick the first note on each string and follow through with the scale going up and down like this. So if you kind of combine all three of those together, you're looking really good as far as a warm-up goes. And I usually try to do that for about a half an hour before I play a live show, and that seems to get the blood flowing.
This has been a wealth of knowledge, and I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. I'm really gonna try to get this up to speed, but don't hate me if I can't pull it off. I'm only a mere human that's part of a video with a guitar god. If you're an engineer on the come up, give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. You only have to do it one time, and tap that bell for notifications so when a video drops, you know the location. Until next time, I'm out of here. Mic drop. Except as engineers we know, I'd never really do that again, because we all saw what happened the first time that I dropped this thing. Later.